Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarvakareshu Sarvada Shri Ganeshaya Namaha Om Shri Purana Purushottamaya Namaha Om Shri Parabrahmane Namaha Om Shri Swaminarayana Namaha Om Shri Hari Krishna Maharajaya Namaha Om Shri Ghansham Maharajaya Namaha Om Shri Sadgurubhyo Namaha. Welcome to SWAMINARAYANspirituality.com. This is Sachin Karnik. This recording and talk is in English. We are continuing our contemplation on Vachanamrut, Garada Pratham, section number 1, and we are examining the question of Maya as posed by Shri Govardhan Bhai, who is a householder devotee of Shriji Maharaj. Before we begin, I'd like to offer my prostrations to all the great sages, to all the incarnations of God present on this earth, and to the Supreme Lord who, from whom all the incarnations come, the Avatari Swarup, residing within the Akshara Brahma, residing within the Akshara Dhama, that Aksharatit Parabrahma Paramatma, one without a second, residing in the heart of all. We bow down to and ask for blessings. So, with that prarthana, the question of Maya is a protracted and very intricate question in many ways. The question is about the form of Maya, as per the householder devotee, Govardhan Bhai, Shet Govardhan Bhai. So he is asking about how do we understand Maya, what do we understand? We have been examining this question, and Shriji Maharaj is very clear about the meditation on God. The type of meditation that he's talking about is Sakar Upasana, Bhagvat Upasana. And in doing so, there is the realization of all of those obstructions, obstacles that prevent the connection with Murti of God. Now, along those lines, the concept of Maya can be thought of also as the veil of Maya, V-E-I-L. The veil of Maya is a metaphor used in Indian philosophy or Sanatana Dharma Tattvagnan, particularly in Sanatana Dharma, to describe the illusory nature of the material world and its experiences. That the world is there, but it is not completely there. It is relatively only present. The veil symbolizes the barrier that prevents individuals from recognizing the ultimate reality and their true nature. So the recognition of who one actually is, that one is actually the Atma, one is actually the Chaitanyam, Satchidananda Brahma, that is who one really is. And that realization is possible once the veil of Maya is uplifted. Right? So to uplift the veil of Maya, this continuous, unbroken connection with Bhagavan, Parabrahma Paramatma, through Akhanda Vritti, is how this occurs. It is by Krupa, by the grace of God, that the veil is lifted. Because the veil is a certain power of God. So the veil of Maya, it symbolizes the barrier that prevents individuals from recognizing the ultimate reality and their true nature. So it is not a physical barrier, but rather a veil of ignorance, delusion, and misperception that obscures the true nature of existence. So what does that mean? It means that ignorance is agyan, seeing things not as they are, but as they appear to be in a particular way, and then getting caught in the appearance, that is ignorance. Delusion is false belief, believing falsely that I am the body, the mind, the senses. Those kinds of false beliefs lead to this false feeling that, I am this personality, I am this mind, I am this physical body, etc. That is a delusional false belief. And misperception. Misperception is not seeing the Lord, it's not seeing God in all people, in all things, at all times, but seeing this world with names and forms and getting caught up within it. That is misperception. Right? So these are some additional ways to understand Maya. So ignorance or avidya is what? It is the veil of Maya causes ignorance about the true nature of reality. What is that true nature of reality? That is the Brahman. Brahman or Akshara Brahma is real. Other than that Shuddha Chaitanya Brahma, everything else is unreal. And beyond that Shuddha Chaitanya Brahma is God, Parabrahma Paramatma. So anyway, The veil of Maya causes ignorance about the true nature of reality. It leads people to believe in the reality of the material world and to identify with their individual selves rather than recognizing the underlying unity of all things. The underlying unity of all things is the actual reality. That is what Vedanta teaches us, that the actual reality is the underlying unity. Bhagavan Swaminarayan, Sriji Maharaj has mentioned this many, many, many times throughout the Vachanamrut, that the Brahman is real. You are the Brahman. That is real. Everything else is actually unreal, or it is relatively only there and then it's gone. It's like a bubble, right? So, and also the experiences of Vasana are like that. These are all coming and going. The experience of Vasana is there, but it is an energy problem. Vasana is an energy drainer. It is a problem of Shakti. That the Shakti, the Paramatma has, that Bhagavan has given to us, it is abused, misused. It is used by the ego for Vasanas, Asad Vasana particularly, right? So this is all part of ignorance. So these are all connected together, whether it is ignorance or delusion or misperception or the dualities that are caused by the veil of Maya. All of this is part of Ajnan, as well as the attachments and unending number of desires that keep coming on. So let's look at this carefully in a little bit more depth here. So this ignorance is the root cause of suffering. Ajnan is the root cause of suffering. And what is this suffering? The bigger suffering is the entrapment in the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. That is called sansar. Sansar is the entrapment in birth, death, and rebirth. And that goes on and on, on and on, on and on. And that type of entrapment, one needs to come out of that. That is moksha, that is mukti. And that is the one of the most fundamental concepts in Vedanta, as well as in Vachanamrut. Vachanamrut is also a Vedantic scripture. So dualities. The veil of Maya creates the illusion of duality, making individuals perceive the world as consisting of separate entities and experiences. When the reality is what? It is akshara. That is, the imperishable absolute reality is one. Everything else is just a veil. I mean, it's the veil of Maya that is creating the illusion of duality. There's really no duality anywhere. There's only Bhagavan existing everywhere. But this perception of duality prevents the realization that all is one and interconnected. All is one. Everything is one, meaning that there is one Parabrahma Paramatma residing everywhere at all times in all situations. So in Advait Vedanta, which is a non-dualistic approach, it asserts that the true nature of reality is non-dual and that the ultimate reality is Brahman. So Maharaj is not against that idea. He has accepted that yes, there is this ultimate reality of the Brahman, but then he differentiates it further, saying there is Parabrahma Paramatma even beyond the Brahman. So that is a type of greater realization. Now, as far as attachment and desire are concerned, the veil of Maya also fosters attachment to the material world and the pursuit of desires, which lead to suffering and keeps the individual bound in the sansara. So attachments and desires are innumerable, and they just keep going on and on and on and on. Right? So beyond attachment is the Atma. Atma is not attached to anything except God, except Bhagavan. So through the process of meditation and connection with Bhagavan in an unbroken manner, then the veil of Maya is uplifted. All right. So, and then the next point is about impermanence. The veil of Maya obscures, the impermanence of the phenomenal world. We know that the world is impermanent. It is a phenomenal world. That is the experiential world through our senses. It is definitely impermanent. So individuals often cling to material possessions, relationships, and experiences, failing to recognize that all things are transient and subject to change. Recognition of the transiency and subject to change is very, very pivotal with regards to the lifting of the veil of Maya. This recognition of the impermanent nature of the material world is a crucial step in overcoming the illusion of Maya and attaining spiritual realization. So when the Maya is uplifted, realization occurs. That is Atma Sakshatkar. Right? So to lift the veil of Maya and transcend illusion, the mumukshus, the spiritual seekers, need to engage in dhyan, in meditation, self-inquiry, devotion, and ethical living. So this is what Maharaj just said: Dharma, Gnan, Vairagya, Bhakti. These practices help to cultivate detachment, wisdom, and self-realization, ultimately leading to the recognition of the ultimate reality beyond the veil of Mayas. What we're discussing here is very easy to understand. That Maya is a veil, and that veil is realized from inside when we are meditating on God. Through meditating on Ishtadevata, through bhajan, kirtan, manan, chintan, continuously getting absorbed inside the form of God, the swarup of God. And in doing so, by keeping contact with all the great sages, they all connect with God. That is the point of Guru and Sadguru. They connect with Bhagavan. They are the connectors. Mokshadvaram apavrutam. Prasangamajaram pashmatmanah kavayo viduhu sa eva sadhu shukruto mokshadvaram apavrutam. They are the doorway into moksha. So their enlightened state is a recognizable state for us, and that becomes a guidepost for holding God in every part of our being. Right? So this is the basic idea that Maharaj is saying, to recognize Maya by the continuous meditation on God. And he says that he uses the word avran in his answer. Avran is this obstacle, is the veil. It is adu avina avran karene maya ke in Gujarati. He's saying that that when you are meditating, you will realize what is Maya. So many things come about inside the mind, and once that is stabilized through the yogic processes, through Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Sankhya Yoga, all the different yogas, Ashtanga Yoga, any yoga we apply, the goal is to remove those obstacles. Those obstacles get removed. The veil gets uplifted. So it is an avran. Avran means veil. It is a covering that can get uplifted. Very easy to understand, very straightforward, very applicable and practical. When we recognize that when we are trying to connect with Bhagavan, there is a great deal of obstruction inside, to de-identify with that's not me, that it's me versus not me. So who am I? We don't really know who am I, so we identify with the great sages. Their state is our state. Like Gunatitanand Swami, Gopalanand Swami, Muktanand Swami, Ramakrishna Paramahansa, Vivekanand Swami, Jesus, Guru Nanak, etc. The great sages, how they have lived, we identify with their life, that we should live like that. Those qualities are our qualities. So the mind gets the qualities of the great saints. Like Yogi Ji Maharaj, and so many beautiful, fantastic sages, Raman Maharishi, and so many are there even today who have realized this, and there are so many who are trying to realize, right? So as we are trying to move ahead along this path, to identify with the state of the great saints, and when we do that, our mind gets uplifted to a new dimension, and from that new dimension, within that new dimension, there is the grace of God through upasana, Bhagvat upasana, which is a central theme running through Vachanamrut. That as we keep upasana alive, everything gets uplifted. The veil of Maya automatically gets removed, because where God exists, Maya does not exist. Maya is a power of God. God or Bhagavan exists beyond Maya. And we also cross the barrier of Maya, the veil of Maya, by Krupa Drishti. One of the biggest obstacles is vasanas. Endless numbers of vasanas keep afflicting sadhakas and mumukshus and bhaktas. But to remove that, to go beyond that, keep only one vasana, pure love for God, Bhagvat vasana. In Vachanamrut, Maharaj has mentioned to please God, maintain that one desire, and meaning continuous connection. Not keep any desire, no other desires is kept in the mind. And in doing so, there is a realization by krupa, by grace. There is a great realization of this freedom of the Atma itself, Atma and Paramatma. Right, so this is the basic idea. We will continue for some more talks and recordings around the question of Maya in further recordings. Today we just covered the veil of Maya. How does it connect to the Avaran concept written in Vachanamrut, which is very applicable. And at the same time, the great sages, their state of living. There are thousands of bhajans and kirtans and different padas. Padas are different, like poetically rhymed, couplets. That are in Gujarati or Hindi or other languages. In Marathi also they're there. In by the Maharashtrian saints in the south India, they're also there by the Alvars, and so many others have written tremendous poetry, to illustrate this uplifting of the veil of Maya. It is a very great state, and this is the ultimate goal of life. The ultimate goal of life is Bhagwan Narayan. That we want Bhagwan, Parabrahma, Paramatma, Narayan, Purushottam Narayan, who is beyond Akshara Brahma. That is the goal of every human being ultimately, right? So, in that, this human body we have, human mind, and everything that has been given to us as a gift, this human body is given as a gift after 3.5 crore Prakrut Pralay. After a tremendous amount of time, the human body is given, but most people don't know how to use it. That's why the great sages come. They teach us the ultimate use of this human body for realization of Bhagavan, for realization of the Atma, and within that, Paramatma. Right? So it is by Krupa that this occurs. These are some ideas today on the veil of Maya. We will continue along these lines from some other perspectives regarding the concept of Maya. And the word Maya is used many times throughout Vachanamrut, throughout other scriptures. So, we'll spend more time on this to really further solidify this point. But in a nutshell, what is the nutshell idea? To connect with Bhagwan completely, and by Krupa, by the grace of God, the Maya, all obstructions, veils, difficulties, ignorance, dualities, everything is removed by Krupa, and the only thing that remains is Atma and Paramatma, Brahma and Parabrahma. Nothing else remains. The world still remains, but it doesn't touch the individual. Maya is no longer afflicting the individual. One has the vision of seeing the divine in the world of names and forms. All right, so Shri Hari, and we will continue along these lines next time. Thank you so much.